That's the intro to A Case of You by Joni Mitchell, and it was one of her later releases. She sang it live, like with an orchestra, a few years ago. Not the original version, it's the later version. But that string intro is just gorgeous. And, I've had a conversation with someone over on Patreon about the Lydian scale and what an important scale the Lydian scale is. I don't think I've ever done a video strictly on the Lydian scale. But filmmakers know this fact, that if you use the Lydian scale or the Lydian note or a chord that features the Lydian note at the right place, you will get the tears to flow from the audience. So let me just demonstrate that in the key of C. And what we're waiting for is like an F major chord with the B in there. Okay, it's kind of a very pensive, hopeful sound. It can be a little sad, and it can be other emotions too. But let me show you how I would get to it if I was writing a film. I don't know, something like that. But you hear, when you hit that sound, it just does something to our emotions. And, this, of course, depends on, what kind of music you listen to growing up and all that kind of thing. If you grew up in India listening to Ravi Shankar or that kind of music, it probably has a completely different effect on you. But anyway, let's talk about a few songs that use the Lydian mode, and I've got several. And some of them will give us that emotional response, and other ones will, have a different effect. So one song that doesn't really have that effect is this one right here. All right. So that's Tom Petty, Here Comes My Girl, and he's in A, and all you need to do to get that Lydian sound is just keep the A in the bass and move that A up to a B. All right, and there's the Lydian note. See, A major scale. But when you have that B chord, you got to include that note, right? I can't remember. I think the main part of the song or the chorus maybe goes to E or something. But if we're just thinking about this as a song, we'd say we're in the key of A. Right? We don't say we're in the key of A Lydian. We just say we're in the key of A. Lydian is not really a key. I think nowadays people are starting to call it that, but in traditional music theory, Lydian is a scale. Lydian can be a chord. Lydian can be a feeling. And also, Lydian can be the subject of a book by George Russell called The Lydian Chromatic Concept, which he talks about the Lydian scale being like a more natural scale than the major scale. We should base our music theory on the Lydian scale. Now, I tried to read that book. I got to tell you, I didn't understand hardly any of it. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood, but he's on to something. And I think Jacob Collier talks about this too, that I think if you go up like in fifths like this, that's every note in the major scale except for one. I'm missing F. But I'm going up a perfect fifth, and I get F sharp. And that's why I guess they say that that's the natural note to add to the scale. Now, if you think of that in terms of a B major chord, it would be Mixolydian, right? B, but instead of that note, you're going to flat the seventh. So, all right, you can think of it different ways. I'm just trying to give you a couple options on the way to think of it if you were going to improvise over, that Tom Petty arrangement. When you're on A, then the D's okay, but you can get away with it on the A chord as well. Whatever. All right, now I'm going to play three very beautiful songs that use the Lydian mode to get the teardrops to flow, or at least, give you a feeling in your heart, okay? One of them is Happy Birthday. No, I'm kidding, but Happy Birthday does use it. Yeah, it has a little bit of a sad sound there when you get to F major, and there's the Lydian note. Let's just talk real quickly about how this works. If you're in the key of C, this is the Ionian mode, right? And then Dorian is from D, and Phrygian is from E, and then Lydian, here's the one. So you've got to use the notes of the C major scale to do these modes. All right, and if you think like modes are worthless, then you just don't quite know how to apply them yet. They seem kind of worthless on the surface, but they're not. You can definitely use them to help you find, the appropriate scales to improvise on. All right, let's get to the three songs. First one's going to be Burt Bacharach, House is Not a Home. And I don't want to get the copyright thing on me, so let me just play it real sloppy and bad here in the beginning. I think that's the only place he uses it. All right. Song number 2 is going to be Ave Verum Corpus. Let me grab the music for that. Okay, this is a beautiful song for sure. This is not the spot I was going to point out, but right there in the fourth measure, it's like the Tom Petty song. It's D, it moves it up to E like that, and then okay. The place I was thinking about is down here on the fourth line, and actually there's 2 spots down here on the fourth line. I did not realize this till yesterday. There we've got G over F, all right, and that gives us, like if we're in F, gives us that Lydian note there. But here's where it gets emotional. Right there, so nice. Let me do it again. So, the rest of the music is very, see, I get a little choked up. The rest of the music is very emotional as well. So there's lots of other, musical ideas you can use to make your piece have an emotional quality. But that Lydian mode definitely does it for me. Right there, yeah. All right, now the third song is kind of Lydian and kind of isn't. It's Goodbye by the Beatles from the White Album, last song on the White Album. And let's see, they do it in the key of G. I do it in the key of C, but let's see if I can do it correctly in G. Yeah, and then it's B minor and A minor. Yeah, that's it. That's the verse. It comes in the bridge. That's the spot. Now, I always thought that the chord was C, like this. All right, and then we've got D over C, so that would give us the Lydian. But it's not C, it's, A minor. All right, now C and A minor are a lot the same, right? So it's going to have the same effect here. All right, and this is a minor seventh, right? A minor, right? Root fifth, third, seventh, and the 13 here. All right. So, it's so similar to C major and A minor that it has the same effect. So. Go down to the description, and you'll see a couple of links to my videos about to my most popular videos like Spain and the diminished scale and the altered scale and the pentatonic scale. And while you're down there, there's a link also to PayPal or to Patreon if you want to support the channel in a financial way. I would greatly appreciate it. But another thing that really helps is just to leave a comment. There's a guy from, I don't know where he lives, somewhere far away that leaves a comment on every single video, and it's it's just a short little thank you or whatever, or a smiley face or something like that, because it shows the YouTube algorithm that we're engaging with each other. So they like that, and I like it. So anyway, happy to read your comments, and I try to respond to a lot of them too. So anyway, have a great day, folks. I'll see you again soon. Take care.